Good evening and welcome to the July edition of Roger's Blue Suede News. This is a pre-recorded show, so unfortunately we cannot react to your comments tonight. But if you are watching, some of us will be monitoring the comments, so please say hello and we'll say hello back to you. And also comment whether you like the show and play along with the stories. It'll all be good fun and we'll see the comments afterwards. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll bring on the guests for this month's show. We have George Coppen, we have Josh Reynolds, and we have Katie Brown.
Hello! I think we've lost George.
I don't know why, because George hasn't appeared.
He's just sent me a message saying, "Where the fuck's Roger?" I know it's you that's gone.
Send him a message, tell him to sort himself out.
It's just gone. I've just said you're missing, and he said, "Is he on, or is my Wi-Fi being shit?" I think if I'd have put money on which of us was going to have shit internet tonight, it was definitely not George.
Me.
Yep, you've got it. Well, I'll tell you what, let's carry on with the show. I'm sure George will join us once he sorts his Wi-Fi out. So I'm going to ask Josh to introduce himself.
Mate, honestly, there's a guy walking past me with a mannequin and it's stuffed and wearing normal clothes. It is absolutely, I think it's going to pass like this side, like any second. So just wait, and it's got a Mohican and everything. Can you see it?
Can you get it on camera?
No,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, we saw it pass yet.
Yeah. Mate, this is the Hollybush for you. This is where I'm at. So I'm at the maddest pub in the West Midlands tonight. I'm gigging and I'm trying to squeeze way too much into one evening. Hence why I am doing this from the back of my car. But yeah, normally I'm a lot more professional than this.
So, well, it's. I'm really pleased you've joined us. And let's go to Katie Brown.
Hello, that's me. I'm Katie. I'm in my sewing area at the moment. Getting loads of gigs at the minute, Roger. It's good, isn't it? It's gigging everywhere. Everyone's gigging. It's amazing. It's the best thing ever.
I know. It is. I mean, that's one reason why I'm having to pre-record the show, because of other commitments.
It's just
so.
Brilliant.
Although my other commitments have changed, I was meant to be in Milton Keynes tomorrow night, but I'm actually going to be in a village called Stubton, so near Newark. Hey, we have a George back.
Hiya, George.
Hello, sorry.
So, George, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. My Wi-Fi has just decided to be a dick right now. Literally, as soon as you came on, it was like, oh, fuck.
Anyway, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm George Coppen and I have shit Wi-Fi, apparently.
I thought you said I'm George Coppen and I have shit my pants. And,
well, that too.
And to be fair, that would explain your sudden departure.
So,
I don't depart when I do that.
You just sit there in it.
Yeah, wallow in it.
Oh, no.
Anyway, these are the guests on our show, and I'm going to kick the show off with the first round.
Hang on a minute, with my
What are they up to now?
So
I've got passive smoking from Josh's cigarette.
I've gone full-on Donny Tourette's on Never Mind the Buzzcocks, but I'm in my car, so it's legal.
Yeah, this is the what are they up to now round. And George, are you okay?
I think the answer to that question is a very big fat no.
Yeah,
two Georges.
Which one shall I remove?
I'm going to keep it like this.
Oh, no.
No, this is all a bit scary.
Hopefully, this should stay on.
Okay. Will you stop playing with the buttons, George?
I've stopped playing with myself. I'm sorry, Roger.
Anyway, this is a review of the month of July, and I thought we'll do what are they up to now round. So let's kick the first one off, and we'll see who we're going to be talking about. So here's the normal "What are they up to now?" round little feature. Who's it gonna stop on? Do we know? Who's it gonna be out of these lot? Oh, hello, CCTV. Oh, we've got Matt Hancock and Gina, whatever her name is. So, we've got Matt Hancock and Gina
Hancock.
Gina Colada.
That's the one.
If you like Gina Coladas, yeah.
So, okay.
Great.
Now, what I should say, at the end of the last show, right, we had in the Good, the Bad, and the Utterly Stupid round, Matt Hancock, because the news had just broken that day about him having an affair with Gina, whatever her name, Collard and Gallo. She sounds like a pasta dish. Anyway, the news had just broken about this affair. It weren't till a few days later that after Boris had said, "Oh, he's apologised to me and I've accepted his apology," he then walked. So, who do you think he's been replaced by, or who do you know he's been replaced by?
Bob the Builder.
Mr. Rishi.
I
No,
don't
he's
know
not
why
been
they
replaced
haven't
by
got
Rishi.
Bob
Rishi's
Builder
the Chancellor.
Oh,
right.
God, so
It's not Jeff Bezos, right? It's Sajid Javid.
Why did the
So,
one got a fake arm?
I'm that bad with politics that I've done jokes about Rishi Sunak, so I'm fucked.
I do apologise. Rishi doesn't. Well, other than bobbing up and down, doesn't feature in this this month's "What Are They Up To Now?"
Too early, Josh.
Yeah, it's far too early. So, how do you think Sajid's getting on?
Not heard from him.
Don't ask me.
I've not seen. Do you know what? I miss when all our politicians do ridiculous things because, like, I haven't heard anything from Donald Trump for quite some time, and I'm really missing that. Just like that's the only time I watch the news is when, like, what shite are they up to now? And now, if they're actually running the country, I'm not really interested in that.
So, well, I mean, Sajid is now the new health secretary, and there was a total change in language when he took over from, we need to protect the NHS and everything like that, to we need to look after people's mental health and get things opening up as fast as possible.
Mm.
We're not going to do it at that rate. 'Cause he's massive compared to that hospital. We're never going to get in there.
So he took over the job of health secretary. What happened to him? Can you remember
COVID.
this from early in the month?
Yeah.
He got COVID. So
Stupid
this is the
twat.
man who says we need to open up as fast as possible for people's mental health, and he got COVID. Shall we see who else we can talk about? So, by who?
Oh, we really know that.
It's going to be my mate, Boris Tumble.
Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, it's it's Boris.
Yeah, Mr. Tumble.
Okay. So, in terms of Boris, of course, this month was Freedom Day. What happened to Boris on Freedom Day?
He got another kid.
Self-isolate.
He got another kid.
No, he didn't. Well, not that I know of. Yeah, but he wasn't going to isolate. What can any of you remember? What happened with that story?
Oh, wasn't there the whole government initiative thing where if you've had your 2 jabs, you don't have
like
to
a pilot thing.
They were going to test it out, but it was only for government bodies and not anyone else in the world.
Yep. And how quick did they U-turn?
It's about 2 hours. It's like, we can't say that.
It was just under 3 hours. They announced they were going to do the pilot scheme. It was Boris, and it was I believe Rishi were both going to do this pilot scheme where they tested themselves every day. Right? I imagine for Boris that would have been quite hard. He'd probably fail every day as well.
I reckon he's got an all right gag reflex, to be fair. I think he'd be all right.
We'll let you test that one, Katie.
No, I
Right?
just use my imagination.
They suddenly, within 3 hours, U-turned when they realised the mass outcry of people shouting, "It's one rule for them and a different rule for everybody else."
That's a weird panto say.
Ended up isolating at Chequers.
I mean, if you're going to isolate anywhere, although I think Chequers is a little bit like the hotel from The Shining, and I can fully imagine after 10 days Boris going a bit boo-loopy, or Mrs. Boris, to be fair.
Katie, can I just say, 10 days in a hotel isolating, you do feel like that. I can tell you.
Yeah, we've all experienced you after
I can tell you
1 day in a hotel.
Yeah.
George, you thought it was bad for you. For everyone on the chat group, it was even worse.
Bitch.
So, anyway, the irony that this big Freedom Day came along and the one of the people who couldn't be free was our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. So, it did make me laugh.
Going to the hospital.
Pardon?
Someone is on the screen. Is somebody going into hospital and about my size?
What that's Gina, who have failed to remove off the slide.
Back again.
Just on a side note, this is the worst town planning I've ever seen.
So, anyway, there's a third part to this round. Ooh. Shall we see who we're going to talk about now?
Yeah.
So, if I can get going. Oh, it's not Boris.
My Wi-Fi gone again.
Oh, it's not Rishi. Oh, there's Sajid. Oh, there's Boris again. Who's it going to be? It's Priti Patel.
Oh, what's she done now?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Right.
The vampire.
Priti Patel is now talking to the French about trying to stop migrants getting into boats on the French side and coming across the channel. Right? Do you know what the French have said?
Fuck off.
Something in French? I don't speak French.
It was, if you want us to police the border for you, you need to pay for our police force. And you know how much we've agreed to pay?
Oh, we've agreed to that, have we? Oh yeah.
62.7 million euros they're contributing to their police cost.
Wow. See, really, if they put that 60 whatever million euros into our own police force, then we might be able to afford to police it better when they arrive here anyway.
Yeah, well,
or we could just sign a striker for Real Madrid or something for that money.
But they must be putting some money into our police force because our police force is doing something as well. Do you know what bright idea our police force has had?
Is it to send her to France for then her to test out the immigration system, then she can't be let back into the country?
No.
Oh, it should be.
I saw, I was watching TV the other morning very early, and they actually had a journalist watching the boat because they didn't have enough Coast Guard policing. So they were like, there was a journalist, and she was like, "Yeah, we're just keeping an eye on him now," and she was just rowing along with the boat full of people coming over. And you think, surely it's not that hard to just go and tip a boat over.
Okay, what are our police force doing? In Kent? One of the things the Kent police force are doing?
I don't know.
To try and stop people coming over from France in small boats.
Air rifle?
They're buying all the small boats.
They're not going rubber dinghies, weren't they?
Or the big boats.
Because what they're finding, the organised criminals are actually buying boats in the UK, putting them in the back of a lorry, driving them across to Calais, and then loading them full of people in Calais. So they've had this bright idea: if they buy all the boats in Kent, it interrupts supply chain of boats, and therefore the boats won't be available to bring them across.
Only in Britain would.
But then, what are we going to do with the boats afterwards, though?
I don't know. And what I want to know, which relative of which minister owns a boat company?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they won't. I mean, they're only small boats. They're like dinghies, aren't they? They're not. It's not like yachts.
Yeah.
They're not going out buying loads of yachts.
Yeah, but if you're a law-abiding citizen down in the south east, right, and you want one of these small rib boats for your own use on a lake or something, you can't buy them. The police have nicked them all.
Well, no, they've bought them all.
Yeah, the police aren't exactly going to have broken the law as part of their law.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
How bad is France that they're coming over here? Because it's shit here. So how bad is it there that they're coming over here?
Yeah, and the last thing on this story is the RNLI have got involved now.
Right. What are
the Lifeboat Institute. They've been having a lot of criticism on social media about rescuing the migrants when they get into trouble.
Oh yeah, it's all right. They're not people, are they? Just let them drown. Fuck it. You know, this really doesn't it just why can we not just accept that everybody is human and leave it there? And why are we wishing ill on anyone? It does my head in. I can't even process the way other people think about other human beings.
I don't like the language that the government uses. And it's very emotive. Calling them illegal immigrants. Some of them are asylum seekers, which isn't illegal, right? And the illegal bit is the people doing the people trafficking.
Yeah.
Not the actual poor people who are risking their lives to climb into very shabby boats without life jackets. They're desperate.
They are. I mean, that boat that we saw, it was an 8-person boat. There were easy 20 people on there. And you think you don't do that if you're not desperate. So
no.
Why can we not? We put money into so much stuff that is considered frivolous by so many people. Why are we not helping people? I just don't get why we're not just they're human beings. Just why is there not enough empathy to see that they are human beings that deserve some sort of happiness in their life? And if they're willing to, they're just looking out for their kids. It's almost it is they just want something better for their kids.
Yeah. One thing that's the RNLI were worried about the amount of criticism they're getting, reducing their donations from people, when the RNLI are there for everybody. Everybody who gets in trouble in the sea, they're there to rescue them.
Well, then
so
everybody...
They should be supported.
Yeah, well, that serves them right now, doesn't it? When they all drown because they've stopped paying money to the RNLI, well, fucking serves you right, you dopey twat. If
anyone from the government is watching, do what Katie says, because I've seen a pissed off Katie and you won't like it.
My heart breaks a little bit. I can't. It's just, and it's not good to watch. It's not good telly. I do apologise. But just.
God, Katie, this is a light entertainment show.
Yeah, sorry. Well, Roger brought it up.
Let's move back onto the light entertainment part, shall we? Would you like another round?
Go on.
Yay!
As it's you. If you.
That was a video.
Faking it.
That's better. You know, when you don't do a show for a month, you forget what you're doing. It's wonderful.
I love how you pretend you knew what you were doing beforehand.
So anyway, in this round, I'm going to give each of my guests a story. And what they have to do is tell me whether it's a factual story or whether I've made it up. Fake news. Is it fake news or is it factual news? So who shall we go for first? I've got Katie Brown written down on my script.
Oh no, that's scary.
Dippy the dinosaur appears in Norwich Cathedral. A model of a diplodocus has been erected in Norwich Cathedral and will be there throughout the summer.
Well, they're turning Peterborough Cathedral into the surface of the moon, so it's not an.
Eh?
Yeah, at Peterborough they've made the floor like the moon. So if they're going to do that there, yeah, I mean, why not? That's their excuse for all the craters in the floor of the cathedral. Like, well, we could fix it and make it nice, or we could just say it's the moon and charge people entry fees.
Right.
Do you want an answer, or have you got any more information?
I've not got much more information. I mean, it's amazing what goes off in Norwich.
Is there no picture? Usually you've got a Photoshop picture.
Yeah, I was worried about no picture, but I don't know, because the fake news thing did come up before the round, and that is making me think maybe it's fake. But I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that I think it might be true.
Shall we see whether you're right or not? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Well done, Katie. You beat me. This is Dippy the dinosaur that used to adorn the National History Museum is currently on a national tour. It's made up of 292 bones made of plaster of Paris, and it took a week to reassemble in Norwich Cathedral.
I really want to see a picture of this now.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, but within the faking it section nowadays, I seem to have a story about Norwich every single episode I do. And that's since P.K. Malley told me that Norwich was a fictional place.
How very partridge of you, Roger.
So, who shall we go to next? Oh, I think I'll go to George.
Bring it.
Police recover stolen penguin in Ashby-de-la-Zouch. Police were called to Huntington Road, Ashby-de-la-Zouch, after a tip-off that there was a penguin in a property. PC Mike Martin said that it was one of the strangest call-outs that he had to deal with. They subsequently found that nearby Tricross Zoo was missing a penguin and it was returned to the zoo. It was a northern rockhopper penguin.
Oh, I was really hoping it's for them, so as they escape, they just go, smile and wave, boy, smile and wave. This is so stupid, it could be true. I think I would have heard it. I'm going to go fake. Penguins do not exist.
I think penguins exist, but you're saying fake news, are you?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. Can't play these mind games on me, Roger.
Oh, I must be slipping. I'm not doing very well today.
So many facts in that, Roger. Like,
I know.
So much info to that one. Yeah.
And that isn't a Photoshop picture. That's an actual picture of a penguin next to a police car.
There's no pictures. We're not getting any pictures.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, we would have reacted to that had that come up.
Especially as the shadow looked like a giant erect penis.
Everything
see
looks
the
like
picture
a
of
giant
the
erect
dinosaur?
penis to you at the minute, George.
You don't.
Didn't you see the picture of the dinosaur? Didn't you put the picture
No,
of the
no,
dinosaur?
we didn't
on
see
it?
the
No,
dinosaur.
shut up.
Look at the
Oh,
That was the
There we
picture of the dinosaur.
it's all going well. No,
I'm
I've
so
just
gonna
Googled
tell
the
you,
I've
penguin
lost it.
thing.
I've lost it.
I've just Googled the penguin thing, and it happens a lot. There's loads of stories about penguins being stolen from zoos. Child
I'm gonna
abducts
predict-
penguin in backpack. Boy steals penguin from zoo in Suffolk. Penguin stolen from zoo discovered 2 months later. That was
How did it
Twycross as
survive
well.
for 2
That
months?
was at Twycross.
Right.
Penguin stolen from Twycross Zoo discovered after 2 months.
How did
I'm gonna
someone keep a penguin for 2 months?
It was 2 penguins.
Yeah,
I know, but you
Oh.
can't exactly feed them pasta, can you? Like,
No, normally they come in
I mean,
six
have you tried,
packs.
Josh?
it just
23-year-old,
lasted a
I don't
week,
know.
George.
Oh, but he wasn't Ashby de la Zouche. He was Strelly in West Nottingham.
Oh, right.
That's
So,
quite scary. That was almost true, but that was years ago. Well,
I'm gonna predict, like, when this goes out on Friday, Lord Sparkles is roasting you in the comments on YouTube.
I know he probably will be. He probably will be.
Hi, Lord
Okay,
Sparkles.
so that gives me one last person to try
Come on,
and
Josh.
see. Are you ready, Josh? Here's your
Born
picture.
ready.
Devon, are you ready? Devon and Cornwall police have acquired a new 186-mile-an-hour sports car. The Lotus Evora GT410 Sport has been purchased at a cost of £88,000, and they're calling it their new weapon to fight crime.
Okay. Just looking in the car. It's too good a photo to be photoshopped. And also, of course, it would be illegal to mark your car as police if it wasn't. Therefore, I don't really see the point of it, but we're going true. We're going true.
You're going true?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Devon and Cornwall, 186-mile-an-hour car?
Well, the fact that you're trying to change my mind would indicate that I'm right, Roger. So yes, I'm sure.
It's been an absolute disaster this month.
If you'd given me that one, you would have won, because I didn't think the police looked quite right on there, so I would have said fake.
Well, you look quite right in there either.
You've got to look up close. It's the front bit. Right, there's markings on there, and I don't think Roger's Photoshop skills are enough to mark out police on the front bumper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
No disrespect to you, though, Roger.
No,
I think
no.
your Photoshop skills are banging.
Yeah, but that could have been a picture of an actual police car. What amazes me is, have you ever driven around Devon and Cornwall?
No.
No.
Who on earth gets up to 186 miles an hour in Devon or Cornwall?
Well, the police won't need to, because isn't it all just tractors?
Yeah.
Tractors and caravans. So what are they?
So why the friggin' hell do they need a Lotus for?
Someone on a
My
bike.
thinking is, have you seen Die Hard 4.0, which was like a travesty to TV and the whole Die Hard franchise, but where he basically throws a car at a helicopter. He drives it so fast, jumps out of it, and then it just launches a helicopter. That's the only way that our police are going to use that as a weapon. Because what else is it going to do?
Fast and Furious film.
I've never watched Fast and Furious.
Me neither. I just know it's about cars
Me neither.
and then stupid things.
It's got The Rock in it though, so I should probably give it a look.
I mean, what do the police think in Devon and Cornwall? You know, are they thinking that, you know, the boy racer will just look at that car and think, oh, I might as well give up. No chance of getting away from that.
It's when they've got a new pasty run. They've got scones one side and pasties the other, and they've got to get there quick because you don't want cold scones or cold pasties. So you've got to go from Cornwall to Devon to get your pasty and your clotty cream.
Or it's when they've got ice cream, they don't want them to melt, so they've got a speed to keep the keep
Chinese, got Chinese on the burner.
Yeah. Fish fingers, don't want them to defrost.
So
Josh is just ordering some now. Look at him, he's ordering his fish fingers.
Josh is on sleep.
Because one of the future rounds, I'm definitely not prepared enough for. So I'm just.
Are you texting Dave Francis asking for a drink?
Dave, is it me yet? I'm bored. Can I come and
Dave,
do my
Dave,
set?
Banter's gonna come up.
have you got his mobile number? Can I have a can of Fanta? I'm sat in a car outside.
I'm with Roger.
So come and heckle Roger. Anyway, so that is. I'm going to move swiftly on from that round. I'm just so upset that I didn't fool any of you. I thought I had 3 really good stories there. So there's only one thing for it, and that's to bring on the next round.
Prat of the month.
Alex sounds great there.
So, so much better donkey sound than Alex used to do.
Oh, that was a good night.
Context.
No, leave
you
it.
were there, Roger.
Context, George.
I think we just leave it like that. I can't do it now because Josh made me choke on his cigarette fumes.
Context.
I'm gonna have another one in a sec.
So, anyway,
Look for your ash down, Josh. You'll get on Katie's head.
This is Prat of the Month, where I've asked each of my guests to nominate a Prat of the Month. So we'll introduce the first nomination, and my guests will get 40. Here's 45 seconds. I can't quite remember.
Yes, it's 45 seconds.
To justify,
it's 2 minutes and out. 2 minutes and 35.
To justify their choice, and one thing I haven't done is actually set up my sound effects. What am I doing?
Can I change my mind and nominate you, Roger?
No, don't try and change your mind. Roger doesn't like that.
Right.
Thank you.
I've got sound effects. Okay, so the first nomination is this lady. It is Susanna Olin, as nominated by George Coppen. George, your 45 seconds starts now.
So yeah, she's a German news reporter who apparently Germany had a load of floods, and she faked helping them by getting herself muddy, and there's been footage leaked of her pretending getting herself muddy and then saying, "Oh, I've been helping them all day," and yeah, she's been sacked. So yeah, so I'm just reading it. Been town hit by floods. Susanna Olin was reported from Bad somewhere, North Rhine somewhere, which has been devastated by floods. She was featured in an RTL article under the headline "Cleaning Up After the Floods," and the RTL presenter leaves a hand in bad. It's a big word. However, footage was shared online by Twitter user Edgaff, which appeared to show Olin muddying herself before speaking to the camera. In the clip, Olin can be seen wearing boots and a hat. She then also buy Roger's merch.
Right. So, well, if I had a choice on that, I'd do this. Sounds ridiculous.
Sounds like something off American TV.
No, German.
Yeah. So you're saying she covered herself in mud?
Yeah, and then to say that she'd been helping with the floods, but she hadn't. She'd just been a little bitch.
Maybe she wanted to help, but she got there late. So
Yeah. Oh, what a shame! All the floods gone. I'm just about help as well. They just hate it when that happens. You get your house in the mess, so I can help you.
Yeah.
You burn your child, so I can help you.
So she got. I read she got suspended, which isn't quite the same as being sacked. Has she been sacked since? Do you know? Or
I've no idea. You didn't let me get that far into the article.
yeah,
Well,
it sounds like she was up.
I'll give her some advice. Just say you got there late. You had every intention of helping them, but you had to go live, so you muddied yourself up for the look of it, and then you stayed there for into the night.
Do you mind, Kate? This is my pride of the month here. It's my nomination.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna help yours out. Well, no, actually, I think.
So what you're saying is someone took a video of her, and so therefore she was stuck up shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah, and they put it on Twitter because, of course, where else would you put it?
Right. So let's see what competition Susanna has.
I don't think we
for
should.
the month. So let's see who else we've got. Once I can work me
Susanna, apparently.
Technology. This is Spider-Man, and this was nominated by Josh Reynolds. I'm sure Josh is going to tell us all about it. Josh, you have 45 seconds starting now.
Want to guess what round I didn't prepare for, Roger? It might have been this one. But yeah, this is a man that randomly went into an Asda dressed as Spider-Man. Turns out in police interviews that he didn't actually have a party to go to. He just went to Asda. And somehow got into a fight with about 30 people in the shop, including Asda staff, fly kicking him in the back. I've seen photos of people falling into bread bins. It's fucking genius. And also, I've got a little pun for you. He said he was innocent, but in police interviews, they determined it was a web of lies.
You wait all day to make that.
Time's up.
That was a class joke that I wrote in about 2 seconds.
Right, so
You wait all day for that.
yeah, and to be quite honest, this story has gone viral on the World Wide Web.
Fathers for Justice have been quiet for a while, haven't they?
Hey.
Like he was trying to climb the shelf, jumping from shelf to shelf.
So it's quite special going to Asda and fighting dressed as Spider-Man.
I'm disappointed that he's not gone all in and done red boots because he's not really doing it right. I am also quite relieved that he's gone for a baggy costume rather than a figure hugging one because nobody needs to see that.
You don't want to see the little web.
No.
I think the least surprising part of this story is that he chose an Asda. You know, if you're looking at all the different supermarkets, it would definitely be an Asda in which this would happen. You wouldn't get this shit in Marks and Spencer's food or just
No, but you'd get it in Aldi. Well, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't get it in Aldi because you'd go in there ready clothes and then you'd get changed into whatever was down the middle aisle. So it's a fun game to play. You could come out dressed as a hiker.
He'd probably bought the costume in Aldi.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get this in a Waitrose.
They scan the items that quickly that there's not even an opportunity to kick off.
Have you never been in an Aldi when somebody doesn't put pack their trolley at the trolley shelf? Fucking hell, that is when wars have been started for less. You get a queue behind you and you try to pack your shopping. I don't because I know the ways of Aldi.
You're the one that beats them up.
But but not everybody knows the ways of Aldi. And you'll get somebody and they're like, the checkout person's literally throwing stuff in their trolley, and if they take too long, they throw a tin at the head and stuff. But but if you get somebody that just tries to pack their bags while they're at the checkout, well, fucking that turns priests to bad, as opposed to the other things that they're bad for.
Okay, so that's Spider-Man. So at the moment, we've got a reporter muddying herself up, We've got Spider-Man kicking off in Asda. Right. What else could we have for Pratt of the Month? Well, there's only one more to go, and this has to be Katie Brown's. Right. I should say these two are not swingers. Right. And the Pratt of the Month, as nominated by Katie Brown, is Swingers Symbolism. Your 45 seconds starts now.
Yeah, so this couple have been approached by several swingers whilst on holiday because apparently wearing clothes with pineapples on means you're up for it. Now, my issue here is that not everybody knows that. The only people that know that are swingers. And if you're not a swinger and you're wearing something with pineapples on, you're probably not up for it. The other symbols that you can get are things like a black ring on one of your hands, but then some people like a black ring. So, and the old pampas grass. Because I was always worried when I was younger. My dad was absolutely obsessed by his pampas grass, and I didn't find out he was a swinger until much later on. But yeah, it's the symbols of swingers.
I just have one question in regards to this picture. Who lived in a pineapple under the sea?
Swinging Central SpongeBob. Him and Patrick are always open for parties.
Squid with his little tentacles getting everywhere.
Okay. So my three choices for this month, right, are Susanna Olin.
She looks disappointed she wasn't invited to the swingers party.
Or Swingers Symbolism. Right? Now, I've got to say, this is probably one of the hardest choices I've had to make. Is Spider-Man a Pratt?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
I've
not
been in
Spider-Man.
Asda.
Sorry to break the illusion, Roger. That is not Spider-Man.
Is this
How
why
do
we
you
haven't
know?
had a trailer? Is this why we haven't had a trailer for the latest Spider-Man movie yet? Because he's been arrested.
Yeah. Spider-Man Asda kicking.
Spider-Man not going home.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in Asda, and it can make you really kick off sometimes, Asda can. I can quite sympathise with him.
That's the price.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm going to discount the man dressed as Spider-Man. Is that better, Josh?
That's fine by me. I appreciate the right technological way.
Yeah. So that leaves me Susanna and Swingers Symbolism. Now, the Swingers symbols that mean you're a swinger. How do you find out I'm sure if you went through the symbols, I used to have pampas grass in my front garden.
I beg your pardon.
It's in the house, Roger, where it means you're a swinger.
No, it's not. It's your front garden.
That's dogging.
It's your front. Yeah, it's your front garden.
Oh.
Yeah, I know this now because I know the world. Unfortunately,
Katie, I really don't want a conversation about your front garden. Thank you.
It's not my garden. I'm not a swinger. I am fucking not a swinger. Thank you very much. It just appears that I was bred and raised by swingers, which is delightful.
And you're not allowed to wear pineapple clothing.
I mean, not if you don't want randoms coming up to you stroking your leg.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
There used to be a song with the word pineapple in it, into pineapple push the whatever.
Yeah, what you mean Agadoo? That very obscure.
Agadoo.
Does that song have an underlying meaning that we don't know about?
I mean, it's Black Lace, quite possibly.
Yeah.
It's a band called Black Lace. You tell me.
So, but I mean, I wouldn't know all the symbolism or anything like that. But can symbolism be a Pratt?
No.
The people that think it up can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't nominate them. You nominated the symbol.
Oh no,
You didn't nominate the symbol.
actually,
No.
I was edited. I didn't nominate.
Oh
the
yeah, I
symbol,
heard about
I was
this. Actually,
edited
I want to know what the original thing was.
because I used my own terminology. And Roger said that it might offend people. So,
What was it?
I just said you can't go around bothering decent folk with pineapples on their tits, and he said that it implies that swingers aren't decent folk. So
was that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're in North Korea, Roger.
Yeah.
We should not have any intolerance, and everyone's human. Whether you agree with what?
Human.
Well, what movies have you been watching?
So, anyway, I think I'm just deciding. I've got the 3 buttons in front of me as to which one I'm going to choose. It's not going to be the man dressed as Spider-Man because everybody wanted to kick off in Asda. So, which one shall I go for? Oh,
George's little face is so excited.
I just want to beat you.
Oh, George,
You didn't even chat about my person. You chatted about me for 5 minutes. Where was the chat about my woman for 5 minutes?
We did. I gave her tips on how to make it right.
Right.
Thanks.
So I've just done that so I could see George's deflated face.
There's no prizes for second, George. You're a loser, just like me.
And there's no points for winners either, because points on this show mean Sodor. So anyway, that's the end of the faking it round. Shall we see what else we've got in store?
Who are you chatting to, Josh?
Lavelle Smith, the brilliant comedian, is over there.
Are you waving to someone?
Do you know what? He could have sat there and said, "Oh, I was waving to Peter Kay."
Yeah. Dave's just turned up with me drink.
He's making it up.
He's not even at the bush. He's just in his garden.
Yeah, just pretending to have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Asda. He's got a Spider-Man costume in the boot.
And a pineapple bra in the trolley.
Shall we bring on another round?
The good, the bad, and the utterly stupid.
Right. So, in this round, we're going to cover some of the other stories from the month. So, what stories do you think I've got lined up for you? I know I've been asked if we can cover one story, which we'll mention in passing at some point during this section. But first of all, the Brewdog Golden Cans. Has anyone heard about this story?
Ooh. No. I just hate Brewdog.
Just like Willy Wonka, Brewdog issued some packs of beer, and within those certain packs of beer, they hid 10 golden cans. In their advertising leaflet or literature, they said the prizes were worth £15,000. A gentleman discovered one of these golden cans, took it to one of his jewellery friends to value the gold, and found out they were actually gold-plated and had a value of no more than £500. And has since made a complaint to the Advertising Standards Agency about Brewdog's advertising, saying they're worth £15,000. Brewdog's answer to this is that because of their rarity, if you tried to sell them, they estimate they'd be worth up to £15,000.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who's in the right?
You can't just go making rules up like that.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I've got a thread thing that is probably worth 30 grand. That 30 grand.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
rare.
I'll offer you 40 grand.
I've licked it,
Yeah.
so it's
40
rare.
grand. It's worth that.
Yeah, I've got this cup that I've spat in. It's worth 50 grand, you know. Like, what the fuck?
I mean,
You can't
500
60, Josh.
Brewdog are just
500
full of
quid.
the shit. Yeah, like you know all the complaints that happened about working under Brewdog for like the last. I think it might be a few months old now, and they were told that they were bullying and harassing employees, and their response of that was to email all their employees and force them to sign a form which said that they love working at Brewdog, and if they don't love working at Brewdog, to go for a meeting with their manager. Like, they're absolute bellends, and they just love calling themselves an alternative punk company instead of what they actually are, which is cunts. Sorry.
Do you know what really made me laugh when you started to say that and Roger coughed? It just looked like he was really shocked. He was like,
What I love is that Josh got more angry about that than his Pratt of the Month.
Yeah.
He could have nominated Brewdog.
I know.
Josh got more angry about that than I got about immigrants.
This story was available for Pratt of the Month. You could have had Brewdog.
Why are you getting angry at immigrants?
I'm not angry at the immigrants.
That's what you just said.
No,
Anyway,
Josh.
According to Josh, going from one set of cunts to another cunt, Katie Hopkins.
Yeah. Katie, you know what you were saying earlier about all humans should be respected? I think she gets a pass.
She's not a fucking human, is she? I don't know what the fuck she is, but that was not created in the usual way. She's got no belly button.
So,
how do you know?
Because she's
any
not
of you
human.
know?
Likes having pineapples.
Does any of you know why Katie Hopkins is in The Good, the Bad, and the Utterly Stupid this month?
She's been deported from Australia, isn't it? She's been booted out.
She has been deported from Australia.
Is that because they've got enough poisonous little shits that were willing to kill you for their own, and they don't need any more?
That's because they're testing out the new immigrant system from Australia to England by dinghy. Sent her on it.
Well, basically what happened, she was asked to take part in Big Brother Australia. And going into Australia, as you may realise, is actually quite difficult. And she was going in under a work visa, which meant on the way in, she had to self-isolate. And she posted this video on Instagram saying how she was lying in wait for hotel workers, right? She'd order food under room service. She'd lie in wait for them to bring the food and then leap out at them naked with no face mask on. Right? This was all very, very funny, of course, not. And the Australians, the Instagram video went out on Instagram. They got a lot of anger from Australian people saying, "Who is this woman? You know, she's offensive. She shouldn't be doing this." And Australia Big Brother sacked her, which meant her visa got revoked.
Hey.
And because her visa got revoked, she got deported from Australia back to our country.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, what I want to know is what Priti Patel was doing, and why didn't you treat her the same way as they treated that girl who went off to Syria?
Yeah.
I'd take Tamima Begum over her.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as she left the country, we should have revoked her citizenship.
Yeah,
she's not human, so therefore you can just euthanize her. It's fine. Anybody, I'll just let you know, it's fine. You know, like when you see a bird, like the other week, a bird flew into a car in front of me, and it had bits hanging off it, but it didn't die. But it was going to be in pain, so to put it out of its misery, I just ran it over, straight, quick death. Right? That's what she needs.
To run over a bird?
No, George. She needs to get run over by a car and then run over by the car behind it. and you know, anything else. Do you know, can you remember when she got fat to show how easy it was to lose weight? just to make fat. Like she put on about 3 stone to say, oh yeah, being fat's disgusting. It's really easy to lose weight again. You're all just disgusting if you're fat. And at no point did it ever occur to her that maybe people are fat because they've got mental health problems or other health problems. She is just a vile piece of shit. And as far as
sorry,
that's right. Go on, George.
The best clip ever of her was when she was on This Morning. She was complaining about people who have named their kids after cities. Then Philip Schofield went, "You know you've got a daughter called India, don't you?"
Like, yeah, but that's not a place. I remember that.
I'm going to challenge you, George. The best clip of Katie Hopkins is of her being fucked in a field behind a pub.
What?
Have you not seen this? She was caught. It was a massive news story. She was caught having sex outside, having an affair. This was like, when she was famous. And yeah, I basically wrote a load of jokes, puns about, the outback, the bush. But I've ruined them. But yeah, she was caught having sex behind a pub, man. It was really weird. It was in the sun and everything.
A little bit of advice to anybody watching that knows Josh: don't ever check his Pornhub history. I think we've just figured out what's on it.
Don't ruin my future joke. It's gonna come out.
Right. Oh, it's coming now, is it? I don't think I want to know.
It was the husband that she was with. I've just.
What did you Google? Katie Hopkins pub?
Can I just stop you all there a second? I'm sick of looking at her face. So I'm moving on to the next story.
So now you can see.
That was the one Katie got rid of.
Right. This is the story of bears in a swimming pool in Canada.
It's me, Josh and Katie.
Roger, how did you see my Pornhub history? Was that smooth?
Very
smooth.
Would
you like to see a video of Josh's Pornhub history?
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, I do have a video of this.
Yay.
Which I've nicked from the BBC. Oh. It's not that video. Hang on, it's this video.
Not Katie Hopkins' video, is it?
Look at little bears cooling themselves. It was 47 degrees.
In Canada?
In Canada.
Oh,
not going to be in Birmingham, is it, Katie?
No, Canada's cold.
Highest ever registered temperature in Canada. So these bears broke into this house and used the swimming pool.
Aww.
I mean, that is cute, but they will rip your arm off.
Yeah.
Listen,
you try and rip these a new one like you just did Katie Hopkins. Go on.
No, I like bears. They've got more about them than Katie Hopkins.
Yeah. I was just shocked that in that video I couldn't see Goldilocks anywhere.
She was filming.
Well, the thing is, you've got. Oh, hold on, Roger. Go back. I've got a good joke. I'm just going to. Right. The small bear thought it was too hot. The big bear thought it was too cold. And the bear in the pool thought, just right.
Well done.
Well done. That one.
Okay. Let's move on to the next round.
I predict a riot!
Well, don't know what that was doing on the screen. Right. There's a slight change to this round. Right. This is the round where I normally ask my guests to make a prediction about something that's going to happen in the next 12 months. But I'm going to ask my guests to make a slightly different prediction. The prediction I want from my guests, based on today's news, is who is going to be the next Doctor Who. Who shall go to first?
Well, I wouldn't bother with me because I couldn't give a shit. So
well, you just need to nominate someone who you'd like to see playing Doctor Who. So we will go to you first, Katie.
All right, well, put Katie Hopkins there, and I'll just have a reason to continue not watching it.
I'm sorry. Katie Hopkins somehow beat me in an acting role. Do you mind, Katie? You bitch.
Yeah, but I would watch you in an acting role. I wouldn't watch her. I don't watch it anyway, so there's a good place to stuff her.
I do.
Okay.
Won't ruin that for me.
Let's go to George Coppen. Who do you think will play the next Doctor Who?
Oh, there's a guy. I need to have to Google and go to Josh first because there's a guy.
I'm just hoping George hasn't got inside information here.
No, I don't. I wish I did. Hang on, what's the guy's name?
It's actually George.
I mean, George does know the actor who played part of Jabba the Hutt's tail.
I do. I'm going to nominate this guy, Ian Griffith. You know, from the original.
Oh, Ian Griffith.
He
was also. Was he not the one that was in? He was in Titanic. The guy on the boat.
Was he?
I think so. Is it how do you
Ian
spell
Griffith?
it? Yeah,
IOAN.
Griffith. It's Griffith because it's Welsh. Yes, it is. And he was also in something called Forever, which was really good. But yeah, he was in Titanic. He was the one that went, "Come about!" at the end.
Oh, that's a shit film, isn't it?
And he was in something called Forever, which was a really good series. I'd watch Doctor Who if he was in it.
He was also in a quite good ITV series called Liar.
Yes, I've heard of that.
He played an evil rapist. Yeah. Was it Liar? Yeah, it was Liar. He played the evil rapist.
Right.
But he's a very good actor, so I'm going to put him on.
Okay, I've noted that down. Josh, can I have a nomination from you for the next Doctor Who?
He's probably too famous for it, but I want Richard Ayoade. You know the.
Oh no.
Yes, he's nerdy to the best element.
I don't.
Gadget Man.
Richard Ayoade.
I
don't get him.
I like the sarcasm. I like the dryness. That's what I want.
I like the awkwardness that he puts on, and I liked him in the It crowd.
He could be really good actually as Doctor Who.
Yeah, he would.
But he doesn't.
He's a curveball.
But he doesn't do anything different. He acts in what
One
he
trick
acts.
pony.
Yeah,
It's the same as he is in his person.
Yeah.
He does everything in his comic persona. So I don't know if you'd get an actual act out of him.
I think they will go back to male because over the last two series of Jodie Whittaker, they have lost about over 1 million viewers. So I think the BBC wanting to play it safe in 2023 with the 60th anniversary coming up will probably, I'm guessing they will go back to a male because they know they'll get all the old viewers back.
Well, I'm gonna go for a bit of a left field one because I'm gonna have a go at this round as well. Right, I think they'll go for Julian Clary.
Oh, for God's sake!
Because they'll want to be playing the LGBT card.
I mean,
this was the one that they were recommending was Ollie Alexander from Years and Years. You know, the band. Yeah, because he did his first major acting role in It's a Sin, and he was absolutely brilliant in it. So they were then.
I never watched it, but I heard good things about it.
Oh, it's stunning watch. Yeah, it's well worth it.
So, anyway, just before we go on to the final round, I thought I'd put a couple of things up on the screen. If you've enjoyed the show, by all means, support us. You can buy us a coffee at www.buymeacoffee.com/RBSN, Rogers Blue Suede News. So any coffees purchased will be split equally amongst my guests. And we all like coffee, don't we, guests?
No.
Yeah.
I like espresso martinis. Does that count?
Yeah.
It's coffee.
Yeah.
So that's Buy Me a Coffee. The other thing we have is the Rogers Blue Suede News merch stall.
Ooh.
which can be found
Katie, if you go down,
teespring.com/stores/Rogers-blue-suede-news. We have masks. Everybody wants masks nowadays. George is in a nice t-shirt, as you can see. There's bags, there's mugs, there's socks, there's hoodies. So, absolutely brilliant. Thank you for modelling that, George and Katie. Finally, if you want to find out things that are happening in my world, there's I can see the stage from here.uk, my new all singing and all dancing website. So that's how you find the show, and there's some contact details on there if you ever want to send me messages or just comment on this video. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit subscribe and like. If you're watching it on Facebook, please follow the Roger Poulter, which is the Facebook page this was broadcast on. If you're not already following me, and give the video a like, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Now that's my plugging all done, and it's time for the final.
Put a plug in it. Best voiceover.
This is the put a plug in it round. I'm going to ask each of my guests to plug anything they want to. So if you want to find out what I'm doing, by the way, go to my website, which is I can see the stage from here.uk, and there's a full events list on there where you can find out what I'm doing. All right, let's go to Josh Reynolds. Have you got anything you want to plug, Josh?
What I'll do is, because I've actually got gigs now, but I realise that the majority of your audience is going to be in the East Midlands, so we'll just say those ones. So I've got I've got the next NCF at night, which is pretty cool.
Canal House, Nottingham.
Yes, it's got a canal in the actual venue. It's sick. And then I'm doing a gong in Derby,
at the Bless Funhouse Comedy.
So that's my East Midlands. It's not the Blessed. It's at All Bar One, I think.
It's All Bar One, isn't it? You're right.
Yeah, that's it. But if anyone else wants to have me come over to the East Midlands, give me a bell. But yeah,
so
I'm not that shit.
When you're on at All Bar One.
I think it's no, I don't even know, mate. I can't even blag it. It's in my calendar. I'll let you know.
Okay.
This is how big time I am now, Roger. I don't know my own dates.
Right. Well, I was in Worcester last night. I'm in Manchester on Thursday night. So I've got a gig coming up in Hereford in September. I've got a gig in Bedford in August. So all over the place. All right, Katie, have you got anything you want to plug?
I've got a gig in 1 minute.
Yeah, go, Josh. Go.
Sorry, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much, guys.
Smash it.
Okay, bye. He's been called, has he?
So I have got my birthday next week. If anybody wants to send me cards or whatever. Then I'm doing Lucky Quip in Leeds on the 9th of August and Late Stage Nottingham on the 19th of August. I don't appear to have many gigs, so if you want to book me, please do. You can find most of my stuff, my appearances on here, Awkward Question Time, that thing that George does, Fun Night, yeah. They're all on my website. KatieDoesComedy.co.uk, along with a lot of my other stuff. And yeah, I'm available, quite heavily available. So yeah, please do.
And over to George.
You can find me on Facebook at George Coppen, actor and comedian. Find me on YouTube at George Coppen. You can find me on Instagram at Coppen1412. I've got a gig in Sheffield next week. Then 2 days later, that's on the 3rd. On the 5th, I've got a gig in Manchester with Roger. That's not Roger, that's Roger. And then I've got a few gigs here and there in Sheffield. So yeah, just I upload all my gigs to my Facebook and YouTube page. So please go and like them.
Thank you very much. And that's the end of this month's show. We will be having another show at the end of August, so look out for details. Hope you enjoyed this show, and don't forget to buy us a coffee and like and subscribe and all those kind of things. There's only one last thing to say, and that's bye.
Bye. Hit the right button.